To start off, could you introduce yourself?
Of course. So I'm Francesca.s.galea. I am a 36-year-old bodybuilder who's living in Mexico full-time. I am from Canada, Toronto originally.
Me too.
Really?
Yes, I'm not kidding.
Oh my god, yeah, actually I'm from Brampton area.
I'm from Markham, but
okay.
it's in Toronto.
Oh my god, one of my favorite yoga studios is in Markham, and I think about it all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, okay, so I went to school for commercial dance at George Brown Casa Loma campus. And so I was a trained hip-hop dancer, and then for reasons just of taking care of my body, I had to kind of let that go. It was really intense. And so I found yoga, and then from yoga, I started kind of building more of my spiritual side, and then merged the two and started teaching these dance yoga hybrid classes around the world. So I was leading yoga retreats, and then found bodybuilding during COVID in lockdown in my apartment, because in Canada, lockdown for real. So yeah, I started lifting weights in 2020, and then the rest is kind of where I'm at.
That is a brilliant journey. Wow, that you've had so many different touch points along the way, and so many different things that you've explored along the way, and you were able to bring those all together to the bodybuilding that you do now. That's amazing.
Yeah, I think kind of what we were talking about, I've always been in the fitness world, but there is something about bodybuilding specifically that not only changed my life, it saved my life. So I finally feel clicked in, I'm in alignment, and I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
I'm so happy for you. That sounds amazing. Wow. So for you, what would you say your mission for bodybuilding is, if you have one?
Yeah, thank you so much. So I actually am a completely natural bodybuilder. So I have never used any enhancements. I literally have taken my dance and yoga training and apply it to the gym. So I'm the girl in the gym using blocks. In fact, I built the gym in my house here in Mexico. That's how
wow.
Yeah. So yoga blocks and yoga straps in the gym. So I focus really on alignment, posture, longevity. A lot of people are scared of bodybuilding because they're scared to get injured or lift too heavy. So I'm more of a mind muscle connection, and a lot of that comes from my dance and yoga background.
Yeah.
And especially is to show people, women in particular, that you can bodybuild without the use of steroids, hormone replacement, peptides, enhancements, any of that. I have no enhancements anywhere. I don't do any of that. And I'm 36 years old. So, kind of what we were talking about, it's you can start at any time. And it's my mission to show other people that it can be approachable, and it's for your greater good.
And honestly, I feel really inspired now, even by that. I came in thinking that I was going to interview you, but I'm walking out feeling like a convert. So thank you for that. Would you say that there are challenges that you encounter in your bodybuilding journey? And if so, what are the biggest challenges that you face, and how do you overcome those?
Yeah, look, any sport that you're trying to pursue professionally is going to have its challenges. I think the thing with bodybuilding is that it is a you versus you sport. Mm-hmm. So it is making the smallest, smartest, strategic decisions every single day, actually almost every single moment of your day, in order to bring you to that version of who you're trying to be, what you're trying to create. There are really no off days with bodybuilding. And if you take an off day or you mess up, you have to figure out a way to get back on plan. They're really and again, I'm self-coached. So there's no one knocking on my door going, "Friend, gotta do cardio. Like, no, you need to step up to the plate, and you need to ask yourself every single day, like, is, for example, eating that going to be bringing me closer or further away from my goals? And being strong enough and dedicated enough to go, okay, yeah, I got to put that down or put that away, you know? I think challenges in terms of also like making time for yourself to lift, to train, to stretch, to get all your water in, to get all your food in. So it's a lot. You have to be like really, really dedicated to the bigger picture. And it is a little bit isolating, you know, because I've more often than not have chosen to pursue my professional athleticism over things like dating or going out on social events or travel, like for fun. Like it's so, yeah, it has its challenges for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Well, first of all, you sound incredibly resilient, and I can't imagine the amount of strength that it takes to make those decisions every day and to stick to your mission. And it just, wow, it really sounds like a marathon almost. You're really in it for the long run.
Yeah, girl, like, listen, here's the thing too, and especially being natural, like, there are no, like, I don't take any magic pills or sweet teas.
Yeah, no
like,
cuts.
It's like food, eat, water, hydration is major. I actually coach on water as well, like in the importance of proper hydration. So yeah, there are no shortcuts. And I think you can take shortcuts for sure. But again, my mission is to show longevity in the sport. I'm just getting started at 36. So I'm already like, wow, I have another 10 years in me to go. Like I feel good. I feel healthy. And that's really important.
Wow. Oh, that's so amazing. So my next question is kind of building off of that, but to you, what's actually the most rewarding part about being a bodybuilder? I feel like you've already touched on so many different aspects of how bodybuilding can be very rewarding.
Yeah, I think the most rewarding thing is just to see, like, again, when I say it's you versus you, like, no one in the world is going to know what I had to really go through every single day in order to get on that stage or to take a first place home or any of that. No one's going to know. So you have to be like so proud of yourself and your progress. Because again, no one is really going to be like cheering you on or pushing you to do better. And so I'd say the biggest reward is just to see like the woman I've become. And you said like resilient. I literally have the word resilience tattooed right here on my. I am so resilient. I've been through so much. And yet here I am pushing myself further and further and further. And I just like, there were moments between me and whoever else is watching this, there were moments where like I was at my bottom. So I think like finding bodybuilding and seeing the changes that it brought into my life made me just a better human, a better dog mom, a better neighbor, like just all around has just made me a better person. And so you can't like even put a price on that. I would say that is like the biggest reward, is just seeing the changes that like have just made me a better person.
Wow. I've got to say, in the 10 or so minutes that we've been talking, I definitely agree with that. And honestly, Fran, you seem like such a badass. So I just want to validate you in that regard. You are so cool. And I think there's going to be a lot of young girls who can really look up to you and, see what you've accomplished, and then for themselves understand like, wow, I can be like her when I grow up. And this is like a mission that I want to aspire to as well. So I just want to tell you, you are such a badass.
Bro, you just gave me chills. Like, like again, like just because I want to be so real and honest with you, and again, what this sport really is like. There are moments in our life where we feel like there's no way to, I mean, for me personally, I really, especially with COVID, I really was like depressed. Like, I'm not even scared to admit that. Like I was drinking a lot and eating terrible and just like not taking care of myself. And it wasn't until like I really, really kind of like snapped out of it. And again, I was still in the fitness industry. There's a lot of influencers or people out there that act like everything is all good, but inside they're suffering, you know? And so I think it's also really important to like not pretend. And so I've always been very transparent with my followers and my friends, and like, yeah, if I'm not doing well, I know that I need to change that. And like, it's kind of cliche, but the gym and lifting weights is a place where you can just let out emotion and just take a second to like look at yourself and almost recalibrate, like, who is this person? And that's why, like, I used to think bodybuilding was such a conceited sport. I did. I really like looked at it in a completely different eye before. But it's not that. It's being able to be strong enough and, yeah, like you said, resilient enough to look at yourself in that mirror every single day and go, this is not okay. Like I want to be happy. I want to be joyful. I want to be excited about life. I want to be healthy and really, it's letting go of all those toxic tools that's what they were. They were just like the only tools that I had at that point, you know, like drinking or smoking or partying, like letting go of that and stepping into a whole new world. Yeah. And so I appreciate you saying that, because like I saw the moments in the last 4 or 5 years of where I go, wow, I made a decision that day or in that moment that really like projected.
I'm so glad that bodybuilding was able to save you, and really that means that you were able to save yourself, especially as somebody who does it all for herself, by herself. That is actually so incredible. Wow. So to continue building off of that and to go more into how you bring this to the table in the competitions world, do you enter any bodybuilding competitions? And then if so, what are some of the competitions you enter? Have you been in any recently?
Yeah, okay. So this is the other thing I think it's really important for people to understand about the sport is you can be a bodybuilder and not a competitor, right? You can bodybuild and take it really like enthusiastically, professionally, and build your physique without ever needing to step on stage. So I know a lot of people think like, oh, I don't want to get big and bulky, or I don't want to take steroids. It's not that. Like, you can really choose your avenue. And like, I'm an athlete, and I am like not just like a natural competitor. I am an advocate for natural competitiveness. So, having said that, in the past, I've only ever been able to compete at like what we call open shows, meaning that they're not drug tested. And even still, I have done really well at those shows, and it's this fire under me. And of course, I'm living in Mexico. I already feel like super isolated, but this year, I wasn't even going to compete just for like, you know, I'm growing my business and I wanted to grow my body a little more. But the seed was planted and I started looking into natural shows. And it just so happens that there is natural shows in the United States. And the feedback from my last competition was to seek out more shows in America. And so I gathered all my pesos and all my resources, and I booked flights, and I just got home from Las Vegas, where I won my first overall at the natural show. And Joy, I can't even tell you, like, they came out with like a tiara and this like statue girl. I wore that tiara all weekend, okay? Like, people
I would too.
Are you crazy? I just earned this tiara. So that is my biggest win thus far. That was my sixth competition. Flew home days ago here in Mexico, and then I'm flying back out to Virginia, so you might have to come see. And I compete on the 15th at the biggest natural bodybuilding stage out there. Like, this is for my professional status in the industry. So it is a huge show. So I'm coming off a big win. I'm hoping to bring an even more dialed in package to Virginia. And I want my pro card. I want to be recognized as a professional in this sport.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, congratulations. That is huge. First place too. I'm so happy that they were able to give you your flowers, that they came in with all the fanfare. I think you deserve that big tiara, and I'm sure you look beautiful in it. But I'm so happy for you that hearing the journey that it took for you to get to this point and then to see it all pay off, I think I'm just so happy for you. And I know that me and my team, we would love to come to the competition in Virginia, given that we can make it work with our work and school schedules. But that sounds like an amazing opportunity. I'm wishing you the best as you take on that stage too. But I know you're going to kill it. You already have. I know you're going to kill it this time, though.
Yeah, and listen, this is where kind of like the yogi background comes into play. It's like I'm super into visualization. Even my dance background, like we used to have to, run through our choreography in our minds without moving a muscle, like that's like it was like we would have all these crazy shows and events, whatever. So it's like, it's really bringing like the vision to the forefront, seeing yourself on stage, seeing them award you the way that you deserve to be awarded. And guess what? Not every show goes your way. I've been second place more times than I want to be. So getting that place and locking that in and having people, like you said, see my work. That's the most important thing for me. It's like, cool, the medals and the tiara obviously is amazing, but to have someone come up to me and go, you stood out, like you can see me work hard, and them asking like, who's your coach? And I get to go like, me. That's bigger prize. And the interviews that followed, and you guys reaching like this is what it's about.
I just love that it's been able to give you a bigger platform to share your message and to share your mission to all those that want to hear it. And there are so many women who want to hear it, and so many women that I think need to hear this. So that's so amazing too.
Yeah, I agree. And listen, like when I was younger, I was not living like this, So anytime that I get an opportunity to express like also appreciation to another woman who is interested in fitness or wants to get to know like how to understand your body or how to feed your body, like that is huge, because I was not thinking like that when I was in my 20s, and I wish I had been, right? So it's like, again, like what I told you, it's never too late to start, and I am an example of that. And I had been pressured so much to take enhancement, or I was told I was not going to do well unless I took drugs, or that I was older. Of course, I'm the oldest girl on stage. No problem, that's fine. But you know what? I have the muscle maturity, and I know how to carry myself, and only that comes with time, age, and dedication. It's like, get started now and learn about yourself, right? Learn how to take care of your body, learn how to fuel yourself. And the women that are thinking about that at any age deserve to be acknowledged.
I agree. I completely agree. I just think everything that you told me so far, just story after story, has shown to me that you are truly an inspiration. I think you deserve to be acknowledged as one. Wow. Thank you for sharing all of that. I have a couple more questions before we need to end. I know you have a busy day ahead of you, so I'm going to go ahead and get to my last couple of questions. But for you, do you feel like there are any stereotypes about female bodybuilders, do you receive any backlash for what you do? And then how do you feel about those stereotypes, and how do you overcome those stereotypes and backlash?
Yeah, great question. So I do think there are a lot of stereotypes about bodybuilding in general, and then specifically about women in the sport. I think that is why my mission is so big, so like important to me, is because a lot of people associate bodybuilding with the enhanced athletes, and it becomes like, oh, whoa, that's like too much, or whoa, I could never do that, or I could never look like that. And so I think it's really important to kind of break down the stereotypes and just educate people that bodybuilding means just building a body that you are proud of. At the end of the day, whatever the stage calls for, I still need to be proud of the physique. I still need to love the body I'm in, because I'm in this body all the time. So that 30 seconds on stage is just, to compete. Bodybuilding as a sport is you versus you. It's you in the gym, you in the kitchen. Girl, bodybuilding really should be called meal prepping, because I almost burst out in tears yesterday just thinking about, like, if someone could just watch the amount of hours that I spend measuring food, cooking food, washing dishes, preparing the next meal and the next meal. Like, that's what it is. It's loving yourself enough to keep putting in fuel, whether it's clean water, the proper protein amounts. Like, that is really what bodybuilding is. And so I think a lot of people just like big, like macho women, or, like, too intimidating for that. They don't understand. The sport of it is really just making yourself in building the body you're just in love with. And so, yeah, I guess for me, it's really, really important, again, to make bodybuilding more approachable, more accessible, for people to know that you don't need to take any easy concoctions or potions to look a certain way, that it is possible with just your drive, good food, and good water. So yeah, it's kind of like the stereotypes I'm trying to break down.
Yeah. Wow. I really love that answer, that bodybuilding is just building a body that you want to live in, a body that you're proud of. That's such a great way to reframe all those stereotypes that people have about bodybuilding. I think that's fantastic. So to wrap things up, do you feel like there's anything else that would be helpful for a woman like me or other women to know? Anything else that you want to add on to this interview?
Sure. I think I get asked a lot about, like, wow, what can I do to, look like you, or look like that, or to have this physique. And the truth is I could tell you all my tips, tricks, and secrets. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, if you're not ready to apply any of them, you're not going to see the results. So my message to everyone is consistency and a shit ton of faith in yourself. Okay. Because at the end of the day, if you think you're going to see results after 4 weeks, 4 months, maybe even years. I know women who have been training for years and still don't have the body they want. Right. And so it's understanding that you need to take the mechanics of fitness, meal prep, hydration, sleep recovery. You got to pull them all in together. I say this, all the pieces of the puzzle need to come together in one day, and then you need to duplicate that day after day after day after day. So if you go, today I'm going to eat really healthy, workout. Oh, sorry. Camera just died. If you say, I'm going to work out really, really strong and drink all my water, but then the next day and the next day after that, you fall off the wagon, you're not going to see those results. So I say to anyone who's really wanting to make a change, pull all the pieces together. Make a meal plan for yourself. Have a target water intake. Measure the salt that you're going to put on your food. Go for the same amount of, kilometer walk every single day. If you know that you can commit 15 minutes, do the 15 minutes every single day. If you find yourself tired, or wanting to give up, or maybe find a buddy, someone who's going to encourage you. But at the end of the day, it is consistency. And you have to make yourself a plan and then stick to it. And I promise, when you think you're about to give up or you're not seeing results, it's normally the week or two later that you go in the mirror and you're like, wait a second, that muscle wasn't there before. Or wait a second, these pants are a little bit loose today, right? And so it's like you just can't give up on yourself. And a lot of people realize what it takes just to get in shape or to stay in shape, and they go, I can't do that. And they give up on themselves before they've even tried. So to start with like a small time block, okay, for the next 4 weeks, I'm going to do 15 minutes of cardio every single day, and I'm going to stay on my meal plan. And then in 4 weeks, you're going to see results. And if they're just not as big as you want them to be, make bigger commitments. Add in more bodybuilding, add in a yoga class, add in, measure your water, like I said. So there are so many realms that need to come into play, but you just can't give up. You can't give up because you're not going to necessarily, and this is just being honest, you're not going to necessarily see results in just the first week or the first few weeks. And that's normally when people give up. And so I say to you, don't give up. Keep going.
That is such fantastic advice. And as I'm hearing it, I'm realizing I need to take that advice. So I promise you, I'm walking away from this interview and I'm feeling a lot more inspired, even personally. And I think that this is a message that a lot of people are going to need to hear and that they want to hear, and that this is going to change their lives. So thank you for sharing this message. It's so important. And I just really want to commend you on the dedication and the resilience that you've put into your journey, into your mission. I think that what you've done is phenomenal, and I think you should really be proud of yourself. Just finally, as one last thing to wrap it all up, can you hit a pose for the camera?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to flex for you right here.
Ah, nice. Ooh.
I got my little abs. But yeah, I just want to thank you as well for having me and just giving me this opportunity just to even keep speaking this stuff out into the world and to everything, like whoever this message is meant for, whoever this is for, like you said, all that to inspire people like that, the world to meet, to inspire one. Look, hey, I'm I do it, anyone can do it.
Well, I'm gonna end the recording here, but thank you so much.